Champ, I've been a real estate investor since 2006, and I've been an entrepreneur since 9th grade in high school. Never had a job, never had a resume, never borrowed money from a stinky banker. Today's session is how to do 6 deals a month, month after month. I don't care if you're talking about fix and flipping. I don't care if you want to buy properties using creative financing strategies like seller financing, subject twos. I don't care if you're talking about you want to be a real estate agent and you want to get listings. What I'm about to show you right now is going to be exactly what I've used in my own business to generate leads for 1 cent per lead, okay? And using 2 methods that I'm going to talk about to get that, okay? Now, the very first thing is you have to realize is that this method that I'm going to show you, it takes work, okay? You got to do the digging. You got to set up systems. However, once the systems are set up, then it becomes almost automation in a sense that it works continuously. And the system I'm going to show you does not require you to spend a whole lot of money on like CMAs and third-party vendors and buying data and all that jazz a lot of people tell you to do to spend your hard-earned money. What I'm using is creativity and imagination. So let's dive in. How can you consistently do 6 deals a month? Well, first you got to generate leads for free or almost for free, and I'm going to get into that. And 2, you need to have a system where it is doing the digging for you versus you doing the digging. And one of the best, cheapest systems to use for it to do the digging for you, if you don't want to use a whole lot of capital, is I'm going to share with you right now. So the very first 2 things we want to talk about is where do you find these leads that are going to cost you 1 cent to $1 versus paying $100, $200 and sharing that lead with many other investors if you buy one of these like from a data broker, okay? Lead data broker. Well, I like to go to the source. For example, there are sources of motivated sellers in America that you can zoom into. One example is the people that try to list their home with the real estate agent and the property just didn't sell, right? For whatever reason, maybe the price is too high, maybe the house didn't pass inspection, maybe it's in an area that the people don't want to buy, whatever the story may be, okay? So we can target those audiences totally for free. What do I mean? Well, if you talk to other great mentors, they're going to tell you that you can buy it from a data broker, okay? I'm going to tell you 2 ways you can get it for free. You can hit up a real estate agent, or you can hit up a title company and say, look, I'm going to close these deals with you if you give me that data. If you're talking to the title company, of course. If you're talking to a real estate agent, you say, hey, I'm going to do a lot of deals. The ones that I don't buy, I'll refer them to you so you can do the traditional listings, because not everyone is willing to sell at a deep discount. Not everyone is willing to do seller financing, subject to creative financing, okay? The rest you can have, Mr. Realtor. Give me that data, which is totally for free. So point number 1, you got to target your marketing, and it has to be for free or almost for free. Reaching out to a real estate agent or reaching out to a title company and then them giving you the expired MLS is for free. It doesn't cost you anything, okay? Now, once you get that data, now you have to what I call rinse it, because it's dirt. There's gold in there, but you have to take it to a assembly line processing to filter out the dirt from the actual gold, and that's a multi-step process, okay? First thing, after you get that raw data, you have to filter it, and you have to use like a skip tracing service where you're able to put that data in there, like the address of the property, the expired list, and then be able to get the seller's name, email, phone number, cell phone, social media, grandma, cousin, every social media account they have, username, etc., okay? And then, so that's step number 1, and you got to build that list. So you get the first list, okay, and there's going to be all these people, and then, like this much people, and then you're going to run it to the skip tracings, and you're gonna have even more data than what you have, because now you have all their social media, their family, etc. Okay, now then step 3 is now reaching out to these sellers, right, and telling them what you do, that you buy their house, or you want to do a listing. Depends on who you are. If you are an investor, then you say, hey, I'm going to buy your house, okay, and reaching out to them. And now you have like what I call 6 for success. You have to reach out to these sellers 6 times at the very minimum. You also have to reach out to them with 6 different medias, marketing medias. Let me say that again, 6 different marketing medias. What do I mean? Well, this is why I said when we did the skip tracing, we got their email, so that's 1. We got their address, so we're gonna send them a letter, that's 2. We got their cell phone, so we can text message them, that's 3, right? We got their social media, so we could go ahead and direct DM them in multiple social media, that's 4, okay? We can, put bandit signs right at their house, that's 5. We can put letters on their door, that's 6. I'm giving you like 6 things to do on those specific sellers, right? Now, of course, you're not gonna employ all that all at once. There's a strategy to that, but I'm just telling you that 6 for success is definitely the best way to go. So now what we've done is, if we want to do 6 deals a month with almost free marketing, right? What we need is to be able to target our ads and our marketing to a specific group of people that are already highly motivated. They already raised their hand, say, hey, I want to sell my house, but they just couldn't, okay, on the MLS, where 97% of homes are sold, right? So when that happens, we take that data, we clean it up, and then we go to step number 3, which is now reaching out to them, letting them know that we can help them solve their problem, okay? And we talked about 6 different ways to reach out to them. Now, it takes a lot of work to extract that data, okay? Because there's different pools. There's, for example, you can go to a different pool instead of the expired MLS. Let's say you want to do the divorces. Well, you got to go to county clerk's office, okay? You got to sit there and extract that data, okay? Or you have the option of buying it from a data broker, but I don't recommend that strategy. Here's why. Because instead of paying $1 or less per lead, like 1 cent per lead, you're going to now be paying a lot more money. But even if you're paying a lot more money, is still better than using a lead broker or something like that, because then the odds are even way worse. Now, what I like to do is hire virtual assistants, okay, to do the digging for me. So if you want to do 6 deals a month with very little cost in marketing, then 2 things need to happen. You need to be able to have virtual assistants, okay? Now, how much should you pay these virtual assistants? Well, the way I teach it in my training course, the way I teach it in the dojo, is that I'm paying these VAs only $150 a month for them to work 40-hour weeks for me. For a whole month, they're gonna work for me 40-hour weeks for just $150, right? And I show you how to do it. It's a copy and paste system. There's a link below. But it's very crucial, because it's step number 1. Once I get that data, if I have to dig for the data, for example, if I'm going to do the probate, or I'm going to do the divorces, or I'm going to do, people in evictions, right, or foreclosures, then what I need to do is dig for that data. Now, I showed you one way where you don't have to dig for the data for the expired MLSs, because I have so many years of experience where you can get that data for free from reaching out to real estate agents or title companies. But for the remaining ideas, you have to dig for that data. This is why a VA works, and this is why I highly recommend getting my course, because I show you how to find VAs that are not on Upworks and other platforms like that, because those guys don't have their mind right, and nor will they work for you for $150 a month, okay? I show you exactly how to do it. I've been outsourcing since the dial-up age to India, Pakistan, Russia, etc. So once you run have the VAs run to that data. Then the next step after they clean it up is to reach out to them. Some of the stuff the VAs can do. For example, text messaging all these sellers, well, the VAs can do. Why should I do it? Setting up these emails, the VAs can do, okay? Now, the other important thing is once the phone starts ringing, another important idea that the VAs must do is now set up the appointments for you. Screen the sellers from for the cream of the cream or just the cream, okay? What do I mean? Because let's say 10 people call you, not every 10 person is going to be motivated. The majority of them are not going to be motivated. So if you're the one that's answering the phone and you're running to my free Ninja phone script, which you can get at mrnofluff.com totally for free, click on start now and you can actually get my course totally for free. It takes time, you know, because to ask all those questions that I asked the seller, like how much do you owe, what kind of interest rate it is, so much, it's too long to get in here. It'll take 45 minutes or an hour, right, to go probe that seller to know if they're motivated. And some people say, Dan, that's a long time, Mike. Exactly, because if they're not willing to stay on the phone with me for that long, or actually say with my virtual assistant, that says that they're not motivated. Why should I even spend time with them? Why should I spend any time with them? My VA that makes $150 a month should spend the time with them because they're getting paid way less than I'm getting paid. So the best thing is for him to do all the digging, spend the raw energy, and only the cream of the cream should be where I close, or you can have even a higher level VA doing the closing for you, depends on where you are. But where you want to do 6 deals a month, then you are the one that's going to be closing because there's probably not that much meat on the table to have someone else doing it unless they're a virtual assistant. So anyways, guys, the VA is very, very crucial. Go to mrnofluff.com, get my VA course, or better yet, join my brotherhood, okay, Power Level Brotherhood, and you get access to all my courses, right, for a small fee plus coaching on a monthly basis, guys. All right, so now that you have digged to that data, right, the phone start ringing, you need to have a virtual assistant that's going to run to the Ninja phone script. They're going to ask the seller all these questions. The ones that are not motivated or low motivation or medium motivation, you want to send them all an offer, 100% in writing, okay? Always send everyone an offer. Number 2, you want to put them into your follow-up systems because they're not motivated today. They will be motivated tomorrow or next month or next year. The next thing you want to do is the ones that are highly motivated, you want to have that VA that's answering the phones and filter out the sellers, give you that data so you can call that seller immediately and close the deal. This is the only way you can do 6 deals per month, month after month, with very small amount of capital, is by using virtual assistants, people that are highly educated in third world countries, like have PhDs, masters, they speak great English, they're highly smart, probably smarter than me and you, but you're able to use the currency exchange in your benefit. 2, you're able to understand that there are highly motivated pools that if you go fishing there, you're going to get deals versus mass mailing everyone, or versus doing blanket airing with bandit signs everywhere, or writing paper clicks or stuff like that. All right, you target who you want, and once the phone start ringing, then you got to have a VA. This is very crucial to filter them out because a lot of people are going to start calling you. When you start doing all this massive marketing, you're not just going to get 1 or 2 calls. You're going to get hundreds of calls, and out of 100 of those calls, there's only probably going to be 10 that are highly motivated. The other are just time wasters. They're not time wasters, they're just not ready to be baked now, so you can't eat it now. So you need to have like another chef that's kind of like prepping that shit up, put it in the oven, put it in the refrigerator, checking up on it. But it can't be you unless, if it is, you're only going to do 1 or 2 deals a month, which is better than 0, right? But if you want to scale where you're doing 6 deals a month, you need to have almost free marketing, and you need to have almost free labor with VAs, okay? Now, if you're not getting my VA course, you're gonna end up paying $5, $10, $20. You ain't gonna end up hiring a call center, which they're gonna, and you're not gonna get the results that you're looking for, okay? The best thing is to build the systems yourself. It's a slower process. It takes a little bit longer, but you have your own backyard of fruits. You don't have to go to the grocery store anymore for any of this stuff, right? Because now you learn how to extract your own data totally for free or almost for free. You learn how to process that data to get all the goodies like the phone number, cell phone, email, forwarding addresses, etc. You've learned how to create yourself a team that's you're paying very little amount of money to, very, very little, less than for a dinner, right? In America, right? You have a team now working for you a month that speaks great English. They're super smart, and they're on your half working. You're spending very small amount of money on infrastructure, internet, desktops, any of that stuff, because those VAs got to have their own stuff, their own internet, their own computers, okay? And all you're doing is dealing with the highly motivated sellers, the cream of the cream. What you're doing is setting up the systems where the people that call in that are not that motivated can go into the follow-up series system, okay? What you're doing is putting the offers on these highly motivated sellers so you can turn around and do what your exit strategy is. If that's flipping it, if that is fix and flip, if that's wholesaling it, if that's just renting it out, if that's owner financing it, if that's Airbnb-ing it, if that's being a short-term rental, long-term rental, or even move into it, whatever the story may be, guys, okay? If you want to do 6 deals a month with very small amount of money, listen to a guy that's never had a job in his life before. I've been an entrepreneur, like I said, since 9th grade. Download my virtual assistant at mrnofluff.com, or better yet, join the Brotherhood, where you get access to all my courses, all of them, for one small fee, and you have lifetime access to coaching on a monthly basis, and all the courses, guys. Don't take no for an answer. Peace.